In California elections, you don't just pick your lawmakers, you get to be a lawmaker. Propositions are our form of direct democracy. You get to decide whether to change California's laws. To help, we made this guide to all 7 statewide propositions on your 2022 ballot. I'm Brandon Rittiman. I'm a veteran politics reporter and a nationally recognized fact checker. And as we have in past elections, we made this series to help you vote with confidence. We've heard from several of you who even sat down with our playlist while you marked out your ballot. Every video takes only a minute or 2 of your time and should arm you with the basic information and context you need to make an informed choice. Because you should feel confident knowing what a yes or a no vote means on each question. If you still want to know more, you can read arguments and the complete text of every proposed law in the state's official voter guide. If you find our videos helpful, please share the playlist with your family and friends, and remember to get your ballot in by November 8th. Happy voting. Under California's numbering system, there shouldn't be a Prop 1 this year, and yet there is. We'll come back to that. Prop 1 is pretty simple. It would make access to abortion and contraception a fundamental right in California's Constitution. It's right there. That text is the whole amendment, just 1 paragraph, making it the shortest prop on your ballot. In general, if you consider yourself pro-choice, you're gonna vote yes. If you consider yourself pro-life, you're gonna vote no. And that's probably enough for most voters to make up their minds, but I can already hear some of you thinking, wait a second, isn't abortion already legal in California? Yes. It is, and pass or fail, the vote on Prop 1 isn't going to change that. What it would do is give legal abortions more protection under California law by making it part of the state constitution. Right now, it's only in state statute, the laws that the legislature makes. Lawmakers passed the bill to put Prop 1 on your ballot after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade, which used to provide basic abortion rights nationwide. Democrats run the show here in Sacramento. They flex their political muscle by passing a second bill to list this question as Prop 1 instead of Prop 26, and that's why it shows up first on your ballot. A yes vote adds the increased protections of abortion and birth control to the state constitution. A no vote rejects them, but leaves intact the abortion laws we already have. Both Prop 26 and Prop 27 would expand legal gambling in California. Some of the campaign ads ask you to vote yes on one and no on the other, but technically it isn't a choice between the two. You can vote however you want, yes or no on each one. Because they do overlap, there will likely be court battles if both of them pass. Both the props would change the state constitution to legalize sports betting, which is currently illegal. Prop 26 is new in-person gambling. It would legalize sports bets at California's 4 horse racing tracks and dozens of tribal casinos. It would also allow those casinos to set up roulette and craps tables. Prop 26 would raise tens of millions in new gambling taxes each year, according to state analysts. Most of that money would go to the same place your taxes go, the state general fund, with smaller amounts going to gambling addiction and regulation. Prop 26 would also create new civil lawsuits to enforce gambling laws. Those could hurt card rooms, legal casinos that compete with the tribes, according to the analysts. By contrast, Prop 27 is a much bigger expansion of gambling. It would legalize sports betting just about everywhere, mobile and online, through apps and websites set up by tribes or large national gambling companies that partner with tribes. This prop's definition of sports betting also includes award shows, pop culture, video games, just about any competition you could think of except for elections. Prop 27 would raise hundreds of millions in gambling taxes, according to the state. After the cost of regulating Prop 27, most of that tax money would go to new state grants for homelessness, with a smaller amount toward economic development for non-gambling tribes. The Prop 27 people are selling this as a permanent solution to our homeless and mental health crises. For context, the math actually works out to roughly a 20 to 40% increase in our current state spending on homelessness grant programs. As of last summer, Prop 26 had 3 tribes as its top funders. Prop 27 had 3 online gambling companies. Again, both choices are yours to make. A yes vote on either approves its version of expanded gambling. A no vote rejects it. The goal of Prop 28,
that's a magic number,
is to hire a whole bunch more art and music teachers in California's public schools. Let me paint you a picture. Take the big pot of money that the state spends every year to fund K-12 schools. On top of that, add this new pot of spending, equal to 1% of the bigger pot, about $1 billion. This money would be used to pay for more art classes, most of it to hire new art teachers. All kinds of art, music, painting, photography, dance, theater, even computer coding. But to be very clear, this is not new money. Prop 28 has no new taxes and no plan at all, in fact, to pay for the $1 billion of spending. If you pass it, you're giving the legislature an unfunded mandate. Lawmakers would have to find the $1 billion to spend on art classes when they make the state budget in the future. For perspective, we're talking about half of 1% of the state budget. Still, it does have to come from somewhere. One last note, if you look in the state voter guide, you won't see any argument against Prop 28. That's because in our state of 40 million people, nobody bothered to send in an argument against it. A yes vote on Prop 28 dedicates the $1 billion a year out of the state budget towards art schooling. A no vote rejects the measure. If it feels like every election you're being asked to vote on kidney dialysis clinics, you're right. Prop 29 makes it 3 elections in a row. It all started with Prop 8 back in 2018. We're all gonna get to vote on how the business of dialysis works thanks to Prop 8. It would have, among other things, capped the profits of dialysis clinics. California voters rejected it, 60-40. Next election in 2020 came Prop 23, a scaled-back version that wouldn't have capped the profits, but would have enacted a bunch of new rules on dialysis clinics. That one went down in flames, 63-37. That proposition was very similar to the one that appears as Prop 29 now. It would require a doctor or nurse to be available at each dialysis clinic, at least through telehealth, and it would also enact rules for transparency of clinic owners and reporting of infections. Enforcing these new rules would cost the state tens of millions of dollars. A yes vote would pass this third attempt at a crackdown on dialysis clinics. A no vote would make it a third defeat. What do you call that, a 3-feet? Prop 30 is designed to help pay for California's transition away from gasoline-powered cars and to reduce wildfire danger. To pay for those things, Prop 30 would take the Robin Hood approach, taxing the rich. It's a new tax on incomes over $2 million. Full disclosure, I don't make that much. Prop 30 sets that tax to expire in 20 years or sooner if the state hits its target trying to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The state fiscal people figure the tax would raise between $3.5 to $5 billion a year. Here's where it goes. 20% of the money is for fighting and preventing wildfires, and the rest is to help fund the transition to zero-emission vehicles, mainly electric but also hydrogen cars. Most of that money is dedicated to help buy those cars, incentives for people, but also for businesses and government. The rest is to pay for infrastructure to help charge those cars. The spending's broken down even more specifically within each pot of money, and you can check that out in your voter guide. For context on the taxes, here's a look at California's current income tax. The first almost $9,000 of your income is taxed at only 1%. The next chunk gets taxed a little bit more, the next chunk more, and so on. We've got 10 tax brackets in all, and Prop 30 would create an 11th bracket, starting at $2 million, an extra 1.75% of tax, meaning those dollars over $2 million of income would be taxed at just over 15%. A yes vote on Prop 30 passes this 20-year tax hike, a no vote rejects it. We don't get these every election, but California's Constitution allows the people to challenge bills passed by the legislature. It's called a referendum, and that's what Prop 31 is. It's a vote on a bill that lawmakers already passed to ban flavored tobacco. The bill is SB 793, and what's in it is pretty straightforward. If Prop 31 passes, tobacco flavor would be about the only flavor of tobacco legal to sell in California. Yes, that means vape pens too. Right now, flavored tobacco is legal, but federal regulators have shot down a great many proposed flavored tobacco products because they could be appealing to kids. Prop 31 would take it a further step at the state level. No added flavors at all. It includes a $250 penalty per violation of the ban. The prop also has exceptions for hookah lounges, loose leaf tobacco, and what it defines as premium cigars. The fiscal analysts figure Prop 31 could lose the state tens of millions of dollars in tax money from the sale of tobacco. But cutting back the use of tobacco is kind of the point of the thing. A yes vote allows this ban on flavored tobacco products to become law. A no vote rejects the ban. Check out the rest of our videos on all 7 of California's statewide props. If you find that these helped you to vote, please share with your family and friends. There is a lot to vote on. That should not keep you from feeling confident in how you vote. Election Day is November 8th. Get in your ballot by then. ABC 10, we stand for you.